Hey there! Welcome back to American Lingo Academy. I'm Luna, and today we're going to learn another 10 common idioms, phrases, and sentences that native English speakers use every single day. These expressions are super useful, and I promise by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what they mean and how to use them naturally in your own conversations. All right, let's get started. Number 1. Level with me. This is a phrasal verb and an expression we use when we want someone to be completely honest with us. When you say level with me, you're asking someone to tell you the truth. No secrets. No hiding anything. It's like saying, please be honest with me right now. For example, imagine your friend has been acting strange all week, and you want to know what's really going on. You might say, okay, level with me. What's really bothering you? You're not using this in a mean way. You're just asking for honesty. Here's another one. Let's say your teenager comes home late, and you suspect something happened. You sit them down and say, I need you to level with me. Where were you tonight? Again, you're just asking for the truth in a direct but caring way. Number 2. Can't argue with that. This is a common phrase that means you agree with something because it makes sense, or it's obviously true. When someone says something smart or logical, and you have no reason to disagree, you say, can't argue with that. It's a simple way to show agreement. For example, your coworker says, we should leave early to avoid traffic. You look outside, see the storm coming, and reply, yeah, can't argue with that. You're saying they're right. And it's a good idea. Here's another one. Your friend tells you, eating vegetables every day is good for your health. You smile and say, well, I can't argue with that. It's true, and there's nothing to debate. Number 3. Let's call it a day. This is an idiom that means let's stop working or let's finish for today. You use this when you've been working on something for a while, and it's time to take a break or go home. It's very common in workplaces, but you can use it any time. For example, you and your study partner have been preparing for an exam for 3 hours. You're both tired, so you say, I think we've done enough. Let's call it a day. You're suggesting it's time to stop and rest. Here's another one. You're helping your dad clean the garage and it's getting dark outside. He wipes his forehead and says, we've made good progress. Let's call it a day and finish tomorrow. He's saying, let's stop now and continue later. Number 4, no news is good news. This is a proverb, and it means if you haven't heard anything bad, then things are probably okay. We use this when we're waiting for information, and silence usually means there's no problem. It's a way to stay calm when you're worried. For example, your sister is taking a really important test, and you haven't heard from her yet. Your mom is nervous, so you say, don't worry, no news is good news. She probably did fine. You're comforting her by suggesting that silence means everything is okay. Here's another one. You applied for a job 2 weeks ago, and they said they'd call if there was a problem with your application. Your friend asks if you heard anything, and you say, nope. But no news is good news, right? You're staying positive because they didn't reject you. All right, my friends? If you're enjoying this lesson and finding these expressions helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us keep making videos like this for you every single day. Okay, let's keep going. Number 5, confide in. This is a phrasal verb that means to tell someone your secrets or personal feelings because you trust them. When you confide in someone, you're sharing something private, and you believe they won't tell anyone else. For example, you're going through a tough time at work, and you need to talk to someone. You call your best friend and say, I really need to confide in you about something. Can we meet? You're letting them know you want to share something personal. Here's another one. Your younger brother is having problems with his girlfriend, but he's shy. You tell him, you know you can always confide in me. I won't judge you. You're letting him know he can trust you with his feelings. Number 6, Grin and bear it. This is an idiom that means to accept a difficult or unpleasant situation without complaining. You smile even though you're not happy, and you just deal with it. It's about staying strong when things are hard. For example, you have to work on a boring project with a coworker you don't really like. Your friend asks how it's going, and you sigh and say, "It's not fun, but I just have to grin and bear it until it's done." You're saying you'll deal with it without complaining. Here's another one. You're at a family dinner, and your uncle keeps telling the same old stories. They're not interesting, but you don't want to be rude. Later, your cousin whispers, "I know, right? We just have to grin and bear it." You both agree to just smile and get through it politely. Number 7. Now we're even. This is a sentence we use when someone owed you something, like a favor or money, and now they've paid you back. It means there's no debt anymore. You're equal. Everything is balanced. For example, your friend borrowed $20 from you last week. Today, they give you $20 back and say, "Here you go, now we're even." They're saying they don't owe you anything anymore. Here's another one. You helped your neighbor move furniture last month. This week, he helps you fix your car. You shake his hand and say, "Thanks so much." Now we're even. You're saying you both helped each other, and nobody owes anyone. Number 8. Who else is there? This is a question we ask when we're talking about a group of people, and we want to know if there are more people involved. Sometimes it's a simple question, but other times it shows surprise or curiosity. For example, you're planning a birthday party and your friend says, "I invited Sarah and Mike." You ask, "Okay, cool. Who else is there?" You just want to know who else is coming. Here's another one. You hear that someone started a new business and you ask your coworker, "I know John is working on that project." Who else is there? You're curious about the rest of the team. Number 9. Get the picture? This is an informal phrase that means, "Do you understand?" Or "Do you see what I mean?" We use it after explaining something to check if the other person understood. It's casual and friendly. For example, you're explaining to your little cousin how to play a video game. After showing them the controls, you ask, "So you press this button to jump and this one to run." Get the picture? You're making sure they understand. Here's another one. You're telling your roommate about the house rules. You say, "No loud music after 10 p.m., always lock the door and clean up after yourself." Get the picture? You're checking if they understood everything. Number 10. So lame. This is slang that means something is boring, disappointing, or uncool. Young people use this a lot to show they don't like something or think it's not interesting. It's very casual. For example, your friends were supposed to go to a concert, but it got canceled. You throw your hands up and say, "Ugh, that's so lame. I was really looking forward to it." You're expressing disappointment. Here's another one. Your brother tells you he can't hang out because he has to study. You roll your eyes and say, "Come on, that's so lame. Can't you study later?" You're saying his reason is disappointing or boring. All right, my friends, that's it for today. You just learned 10 super useful expressions that native speakers use all the time. I hope you feel more confident using them in your own conversations. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends who are learning English, and don't forget to subscribe because we post new lessons every single day. Leave a comment and let me know which expression was your favorite. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.